Hey, what's up, y'all? It's time to do some more preview and prediction videos, and now I'm going to be starting on the the ACC. So, uh, anyways, in this video, we're going to talk about Clemson, Florida State, and Duke. So we're going to start with Clemson, and now last year Clemson was 11-3, as 10-2 in the regular season, with their losses being to Notre Dame and South Carolina, and then beat North Carolina in the ACC championship before losing to Tennessee in the the Orange Bowl. Um, so then, but last year was better than it was in 2021. One win better. Offense was a lot better. Still not where you need it to be, but and then DJ Ukulele did improve from his sophomore year to his junior year. And then but you did so you ran off DJ. So you ran off DJ. He transferred to Oregon State. And then but Dabo did fire offensive coordinator Kevin Streeter. I mean, we thought that he wasn't going to do it, but he did. So you do bring in offensive coordinator Garrett Riley from TCU. So the offense should be even better than it was last year. And then you are going to be starting Cade Klubnik, who was a highly talented freshman from last year. He did, again, the DJ did end up getting benched for Klubnik by the end of the season. Well, first, the switch was made in the middle of the Notre Dame game, and then again for the last time, yes, the switch was made to Klubnik during the ACC championship, and then yes, he played great against North Carolina. But remember, it's North Carolina. Their defense is terrible, and but he did not have a good game against Tennessee. So, but anyway, I don't really know how much better than the ukulele Club Dick is. But with a new offensive coordinator, I think he'll probably play better than what DJ did last year, and I think that DJ will end up being better at Oregon State. So But anyways, now the running backs, yes, you do bring back Will Shipley, 1,100 yards last year. And then he'll also have Phil Maffa to back him up, and he's a big bruising back. So anyway, and then receivers. Yes, your top receiver, yes, wide receiver, Antonio Williams is back. But wide receiver Joseph Ngata and tight end Davis Allen are gone to the NFL. But you do bring back wide receiver Bo Collins and tight end Jake Brenningstool. So, anyway, so now on your defense, yes, you do return 8 starters on defense. You do lose your both of your defensive ends, Miles Murphy and KJ Henry, and one of your linebackers, Trenton Simpson. So, but anyway, but you do return 8 starters. You do bring back your leading tackler, linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter, and your best cornerback in Nate Wiggins. So so now let's take a look at your schedule. So you do start out week 1. You do play at Duke. Now I know that it's trendy to take Duke in this game. They are a popular upset pick in week 1. But no, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think you're better than Duke. I mean, yeah, I think you'll right. Yeah, I think you'll beat Duke. And then next, you do play Charleston Southern. Yeah, that should be a win. You should destroy them. And then next up, you've got FAU. Yeah, Florida Atlantic. Yeah, and again, this one should be an easy win as well. Yeah, you should curb stomp them. And then next up, you play Florida State. Yeah, it's going to be a big game. You know, Florida State getting a lot of hype this year. But yeah, you haven't lost to them since like 2014. So, and you do get them at home. So, yeah, I'm gonna give you the win against Florida State. And then next year, at Syracuse. Yes, now remember that one time when you lost. When you lost at Syracuse back in 2017. But yeah, I don't think you're gonna let that happen again. So I got you beating Syracuse, and the next you've got Wake Forest. Yes, they took you to overtime last year. but they're losing the quarterback Sam Hartman, so I'm gonna give you the win here too. And that takes you into your bye week. You come out of that for back-to-back road games. You're at Miami and at NC State. Now I think Miami. Um, now you did, yes, you blew them out last year. And I do think they will be improved this year, but not enough to make up 31 points. So I think this is a win. And then next year at NC State. Now remember what happened last time y'all played at NC State, so I think y'all won't let that happen this time. I think y'all beat NC State. Okay, and then that takes you into your last 4 games. Let's see, you do play you play Notre Dame at home, and you lost to Notre Dame last year. Yes, I do think that they're the best team on your schedule, other than Florida State. And I do think you're gonna lose at least one game. So yes, I have you losing to Notre Dame again, and then you play Georgia Tech. That should be an easy win. You should well no, I don't want to say that, because I mean it's been close the last 2 years. But still, you should beat them. But no, I guess last year it wasn't close. He did blow them out last year. I was thinking of the year before. But anyway, so you're beating them, and then North Carolina. I think that's a win. And then you've got you're at South Carolina. I know that they beat you last year, but I think that you get your revenge this year. So, anyways, that does put you at 11-1 and 7-1 in the ACC. Okay, now let's move on to Florida State. Last year, you were 10-3, 9-3 in the regular season, and then 10-3 after beating Oklahoma in your bowl game. So now, last year was out of the darkness for Knowles fans, because it used to be that they were really good in like the mid 20 teens, back when they won the national championship. They made the playoffs, and of course, really, the last few years before last year, they were mediocre, struggling to make a bowl. But now a 10-win season. So is Florida State back? We'll see. Now the first 2 years with Mike Norvell were really shaky last year, but now they seem to have it figured out. So, but anyways, so now for this year, quarterback Jordan Travis does return. It was really a breakout year for Jordan Travis. He hadn't been, very good before. No one was talking about him, but now he's got, everyone talking about him. He did throw for 3,200 yards last year. And he's a dual threat quarterback. Also ran for another 400 yards on the ground. So anyway, and then it's your running backs. Guess you do bring back Trey Benson, and just shy of 1,000 yards last year. He did have like 990. Yeah, and he was getting 6.4 yards per carry, so which is really good. So y'all need to give him the ball more. And then your RB2 from last year, Trayshawn Ward, transferred to Kansas State. They do bring back Lawrence Toafili, who obviously is not good. Is not as good as Benson or Ward, but anyway. So now and then wide receivers and tight ends. Yes, you do return your leading wide receiver. Johnny Wilson, and now he's really good. Yeah, he's 6'7". Yeah, he did have 20. He did have like 21 yards per catch last year, which is crazy. So yeah, but you don't really have much behind him. Your Pokey Wilson went to the NFL, and then you did lose your tight end, Cameron McDonald. Yeah, you do actually lose 3 of your top 4 receivers, but you did get Keon Coleman out of the transfer portal from Michigan State, and he was the leading receiver for Michigan State last year. And you did also bring in tight end Jaheim Bell from South Carolina. So anyway, and then on defense, 9 starters return. So really, all you lose is your leading tackler, safety, Jamie Robinson, and also defensive tackle Robert Cooper to the NFL. But you do bring back your best linebacker, Tatum Bethune, and also your sack leader, defensive end Jared Verse. He had 9 sacks last year. So but anyway, so how about we get into the schedule. So you just start out week 1. You just start out with LSU in a neutral site in Orlando, yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. But I did already do LSU when I did my SEC predictions. So yeah, you already know that I do have you losing to LSU. I mean, you beat them last year. I think this year they get you back. Yeah, you did beat them by a blocked extra point last year, but anyway, the next you play Southern Miss. Yeah, you should just steamroll them. And then up next, you're at Boston College. This could be a trap game because the next week you play Clemson. But I don't think so. Boston College is terrible. So, yeah, so you should curb stomp them. And then next, you're at Clemson. Now, I just did Clemson, so yes, I do have you losing at Clemson. So, and that takes you to your bye week, yes, and a really early bye week. Come out of that, play Virginia Tech. Yeah, they're terrible. That should be a win. And also Syracuse. I think they're not going to be any good this year either. So that's a win. And then Duke. Yes, they were good last year. They do return a lot. But I still think that it's just Duke. I mean, they shouldn't have the talent to be able to compete with you. So I think that's a win. And then your at Wake Forest, and I know you've lost to them the last 3 times in a row. I think it's time for y'all to end that streak. Wake Forest does lose Sam Hartman, so I'm gonna give y'all the win here. And the next year, at Pitt. Now I already did my prediction for Pitt with Talk is Pitt. So yes, I do have you beating Pitt. And then you've got Miami. You beat Miami really bad last year. And I think they'll be a little bit better. See, you already know that I did my did my Miami preview with Slim. So I did have you beating Miami. So anyway, and then the next they got North Alabama. I mean, you should absolutely obliterate them. And then you're at Florida, and I did my SEC predictions. So I think Florida going to be bad this year. So yeah, I think that's a win. So I do have you going 10-2 and 7-1 in the ACC. Okay, and now let's move on to Duke. And last year Duke was 8-4, 9-4 after beating UCF in the Military Bowl. And so this year most of their players do return. They do bring back quarterback Riley Leonard. Threw for almost 3,000 yards, and he's also a dual threat quarterback. Wouldn't have expected that just looking at him, but he did run for like 700 yards. So and he was the team's leading rusher. So you do bring back your three running backs, Jordan Waters, Jaquez Moore, and Jalen Coleman. But Moore should really be getting more carries. As in Waters and Coleman, they're only getting 4.6 or 4.7 yards, and they were both getting over 100 carries. Meanwhile, Moore had only 79, but he's getting 6.4 yards per carry. So you need to give Moore the ball more. And then wide receivers, yes, you do bring back your top two receivers. Do bring back Jalen Calhoun and Jordan Moore. So, and then and then on defense, you do return 9 starters. You just lose 2 starters. Your top 2 tacklers, and that's it. You lose safety Darius Joyner and linebacker Shaka Hayward to the NFL. So, but anyway, so let's have a look at your schedule. You start out week 1 against Clemson. Now I know that this is a trendy upset pick in week 1, but I'm still gonna go with Clemson. So next up, you've got Lafayette. Yeah, not Louisiana Lafayette, just Lafayette. So yeah, I think that should be an easy win. Then you got Northwestern. They're the worst team in the Power 5. You should beat them. And then next you're at UConn. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're playing UConn at home, on the road, on the moon. It shouldn't matter. You should be beating UConn. And then next you've got Notre Dame, and yeah, that's an automatic L. You're not beating Notre Dame. And then next you've got your bye week. You come out of that, and you play NC State, and I gave you a win here since you're at home. And then next you've got back-to-back road games at Florida State. Yeah, I just did Florida State. And then at Louisville, and yeah, I think you lose both of them. Yeah. And then next you've got Wake Forest, and yeah, they're losing Sam Hartman. I think I talked about this. Keep talking about it, but anyway, yeah, I think you beat Wake Forest. And then up next, you're at North Carolina. They've got Drake May coming back, so I think this is a loss. So that gives you your 5th loss. And after that, you do play at Virginia, so your 2nd of 2 back-to-back road games. And Virginia only won 3 games last year, so I think that's a win. And then you come back home to finish things up with Pitt. And yeah, and I've already done my preview for Pitt. So yeah, I do think you beat Pitt. So anyway, so it does put you at 7-5, and 4-4 in the ACC. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching. And I'll see y'all again next time.